Sangye Che Dan So Ge Cho Nam La Chan Chom Par Do Da Ni Gyap Sun Chen Da Ge Chen Son Ge Pe Sun Nam Kim Do La San Ge Do Sangye Chodang Zo Ge Chona Chan Chum Bardo Da Ya So Chen A Ge Chen Son Ge Nam Ge Do La
In the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge until enlightenment is reached by the merits of generosity and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Manam ka tang nyam be sem che tham che dewa tang deve yo tang dem bra yo che tong a tang tong a ge yo tang thao wan yo che Tong me ben dewa tang me war yo che nye chao dang yin dang ta be dang yong la ne war yo che Manam Padanya Sen Jen Am Je Devata Deve Yoda Dembaran Yoche Om Adam Age Yoda Hawaran Yoche Tong me bende wada me wan yo che nye cha da nye da ta nyong la ne baran yo.
May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of their happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from their happiness, which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Page number 29. Oi sa shi bu shi chu shi me do ta re ra li shi ni de ke pa de sang ge xin la mi de po wa ni Do nam da shi
The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. By visualizing it as a Buddha realm and offering it, May all beings enjoy the perfect purity of this realm.
Page number 34. Oi sem je nam ge samba tha lo ye che ta che da war che chong thong mon te ba yin che ge ko lo so.
Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater, lesser, and common vehicles according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, please take a deep breath, inhale fully,
首先，先做一个深呼吸，深深的吸入，
and exhale all our stress.
接着呢，吐出所有的这个压力等等，
And then bringing all the Buddha's blessing into us, and inhale fully,
接着呢，就是把这个佛陀的加持，好像气体一样吸入，
and exhale.
吐气，
Once more, please inhale fully,
接着再一次深深的吸入，
and exhale.
接着吐气，
And then just please relax your mind
放松你的心情，
and be here.
在此地，
The past is past, gone, is not here.
过去的就让它过去，
The past is all like a dream.
过去就像梦境一般。
Like in the dream, you may have a lot of different types of dream. During the dreaming time, you feel, you experience real meeting people, going to different places. In the dream, you experience this all real. As soon as you wake up from that dreaming, you will just say, yes, I have a dream. Something is not real.
在梦境当中呢，你所经历的就好像真实的，然后你在梦境当中遇到各种各样的人，然后呢，之后你醒来之后呢，你要告诉自己，其实这些都不是真的，那这些都是好像梦境一般。
So in our life, we have a lot of different experiences in the past up until now. It's all just, we have that experience with, sometimes it brings the pain in our lives. sometimes we rejoice what we have, but it's just our habit, repeating our habit and the ego attachment, aversion, but actual experience itself is like a dream, it's not exist.
在生活当中呢，我们会经历许多不同的，好像过去以及现在有许多不同的经历。这些比如很多都是由于我们习气所造成，比如说我们的这个我执、贪着等等习气呢，所以我们有如此的经历，我们要把它看成如同梦境一般。
And this moment is very momentary, doesn't stay in 1 second. It's just going through, like so speedy. It doesn't stay, just just going through so fast. But the future is not exist here. It's just future, and we're thinking about the future. We're planning what what to do, what not to do. We have a lot of fears, a lot of expectations, something to achieve, something may not exist, may happen or may not happen. Those speculations going through, but it's not here.
我们在这个当下，其实这个当下是非常快速，就是一个刹那一个刹那，它是不会停留的。我们就是只有这个当下，那我们所想到的这些未来，其实都是不存在的。我们所有的计划、想做的事、恐惧、期望，我们所希望的成就，都不存在于现在。
So because of this reason, you see, in reality, everything is just a manifestation that we're talking about. Reality, nature, everything is just a manifestation.
所有
Just come
的
and go.
所有的实相呢，都是显现，来来去去。
So release all our grasping, our fixation.
就是放下所有的这种执着。
That's the. If we can do this, then there's a peace.
你能够这样做，就能够获得安乐。
Happiness is we call happiness. It's the flavor of the peace. When you have a peace, there's happiness.
只要你能够获得这个平静呢，你就能够获得这个安乐。
Like say, when you eat lunch and anything, and when your mind is peaceful, relaxed, you can enjoy the meal, and there's happiness.
如果比如说你在吃午餐的时候呢，你的心是非常平静放松，你就能够很好的享用你的午餐，能够获得这样的安乐。
We don't know how to keep the mind in the right place. Even you're eating such a expensive meal, you cannot experience the taste of the food, and there's no happiness.
如果你的心没有这种平静的话呢，即使你在吃很好吃的食物，你也没有办法体验到这样子的开心和安乐。
See, so as yesterday, other days, we're talking about the power of the mind. Mind is the most powerful, whether it's negative or positive.
昨天我们说到这个心的力量，心它具有非常强大的力量，不论是正面的还是负面的。
Okay. Now we're going through this text, the heart essence of the Mahayana teaching by great master Mojireva. Yesterday I had briefly touched on about the text and then pay homage to the Buddha. Now today, we'll go through briefly. There's how this text is based on. Okay, so he said, I will write down this text from the ocean of Buddha's teaching. From the ocean of the Buddha's teaching means Buddha's teaching is like an ocean, so vast, so profound. And that, having said that, this text is usually you call Sutra and Tantra. So based on the Buddha's teaching on the Sutra and the Tantra, then also according to the commentaries written by like Nagarjuna, Asanga, and so forth. There are so many who wrote the commentaries from the Buddha's teaching. So says that these teachings, the crown jewel, is the wish-granting jewel. That he put into together, put all those teachings put into together, the ground, the path, and the result. Ground means the view, basis. Okay. Then how to follow into the path, step by step. And then what you can expect the result of this study practice.
所以我们昨天呢，仁波切他有就是讲到这个已经开始介绍到这一部这个文本，就是根本颂的这个内容。首先他开始的是这个顶礼佛陀，然后今天呢，他将会接着介绍这个从如同广大海洋的这个佛陀的教法当中升起的这个内容，所以它会这个内容呢，其中根本颂的内容包含了经序以及密序的部分，它都是基于佛陀的教法来宣说的。在其中其实还有包括他的著书有许多，包括许多这些大师的内容，比如说龙树菩萨等等。那所以他认为这个教法呢，它是如同这个顶轮上的珠宝一般宝贵，所以它里面就是包含了所有一切佛陀教法的精要，所以它其中还包含了基道果的内容。基也就是基础见地，道呢就是一步一步如何成就，果就是这个修持的成果。
Then the third verse here, he outlined the teachings. What are these? What we are going to study and practice here? First, we said the teachings with the Sugatas is totally pure and is ultimate. That what Buddha taught is. That what Buddha taught is not Miss Buddha's teaching that all no others mentioned. Now this we are receiving this from our kind teacher, who has studied, who experienced his teachings, and received from kind teacher. So, after being received these all teachings, one should remain in the solitude and then contemplate first 4 thoughts. They reflect to the precious human life and the impermanence of all the phenomena, composite phenomena, and the suffering of the samsara and the causality, the cause, the karma. So these 4 are something that we have to contemplate on while we're studying, practicing the Dharma teachings. Then after that, after being contemplated on this, it's like say, like Four Noble Truths of the Buddha's teaching. No? After well contemplated on this, then we train through 4 trainings here. The training of the taking refuge, study, not the study of the refuge and practice training. And then the precept, Vinaya section of the precept for both lay people, ordained. And after that train, then one follows the practicing bodhicitta. Yeah. And after bodhicitta is taking and practice that, then you follow the Vajrayana teachings. After training these 4 topics, which are the life of the Buddha's teaching, our life, When we have life, we're alive. When we don't have life, we're dead. So these 4 are the life teachings of the Buddha. After having received these teachings, practice, went through step by step, then we meditate on the 5-fold path of the Mahamudra, the bodhicitta, and then these Yetam deities, the Guru Yogas, and Mahamudra, and then the dedication. So after meditated on those, exercise our full dedication on these practices, then what kind of result, what we can expect, the Buddhahood, the 4 kayas or 3 kayas there. So this completes all these texts.
所以接下来Rinpoche他会讲的部分就是3个偈颂。那这3个偈颂，它主要说明的是这个教法的一个概括，然后它包括了就是需要研读的以及修持的部分。接着呢，它里面呢，都是包括了佛陀的这个教法是绝对非常纯净的。我们在领受这个教法是从具有这个具足这种经验的这个上师处呢领受的这个教法，然后之后我们会去到这个寂静处来进行修持。我们在修持的时候，首先我们会进行这个思维四转心的这个思维。第一点就是要思维这个宝贵人生，第2就是思维无常，第3是轮回的痛苦，第4是业力因果。所以我们在进行了这四转心的思维之后呢，我们会进入这四个要修持的部分。所以首先呢，我们会修持这个皈依。第2呢，就是戒律的部分。戒律包括了这个小乘的，以及给予这个在家众、出家众，还有这个接着进入这个菩萨戒，然后就是这个金刚乘的戒律。接着呢，就是在这4个修持的部分呢，它是佛陀教法的最精要的部分。在完成了这些修持，在完成了这个教授还有修持一步一步进行之后呢，会进入这个大圆满大手印，然后菩提心，还有本尊、上师、瑜伽等等。那接着呢，就会结行，也就是以回向来做结行。
And then the last verse, which has no translation, no, the fourth verse, the main purpose of this teaching is all teachings given to all the sentient beings, not just some few groups of Buddhists. or monks and nuns, but Buddha's teaching is given to all the sentient beings. Because as we discussed about that, everybody's from the innate of the mind, naturally just desire for peace and happiness. That's just natural. And then nobody desire the suffering, physically, mentally, whether educated or uneducated, whether rich or poor, whether can express or cannot express. Even small insects, if you touch, that moment, it just runs away. It's because it has a fear that some danger may come in the life. You see, when the one is very cold weather, and if there's little sunshine, because they're close to the Buddha nature, that they gives you some pleasant feeling and feel so good. When it's so hot, doesn't agree with the Buddha nature. When there's some cooling and feel so fresh. Every sentient being, you can go anywhere, all over the world. Not only human beings, as mentioned, animals, insects, the sea mammals, all that who has the consciousness. So that's for that. So Buddha's teaching is for that. Is called. Here it said, the Buddha nature, that everybody is pervaded. Everybody is also adorned with the Buddha nature.
所以在这边的这个第4个偈颂呢，也是没有翻译英文出来的。所以呢，这边仁波切他是说到，一切的这个教法呢，它是给予一切的众生来获得解脱，不只是给那些僧众来修学的。一切的这个众生呢，都希求安乐，这个是在心中会自然升起的。没有任何一个众生呢，希望痛苦，不论他是否受过教育，或者是否是富有，或者是即使是最微小的生命，昆虫，你靠近他们，碰到他们的时候，他们也会自然就想逃跑，因为他们会对于这种危险心生恐惧。所以当他们碰到这种好像日照温暖的清凉的这个天气的时候呢，他们也会自然非常受用。这种感受就如同他们感受到了这个佛性一般，因为他们具有这个佛性，自然就会好像能够喜欢亲近这样的体验，因为这种日照，然后非常清凉的感受，就如同佛法。那非常炎热的天气呢，它就好像让人不舒服，所以它就违背了这种佛性。一切的这个生命，包括动物、昆虫等，它们都是具有心识，所以这就是说明了这个佛性呢，它是遍布一切众生的，所有的众生都是具有佛性的。
So that Buddha nature is pure by itself. We no need to make pure. It's just pure, naturally pure, and it's unchanging nature. Now that teaching this about this Buddha nature's teaching is well explained in the Uttara Tantra by Maitreya. with many examples explained. Like a piece of gold, sunk in the swamp or unclean place. Gold is always pure. It's like that. We don't have to make the gold pure. It's naturally pure. And that being pure is never changed. It's always pure. But because of being in that unclean, dirty place, singing there, so temporarily is kind of obscured by that uncleanness. It's called adventitious obscuration. So because of that, when you look at the gold, which is so kind of outside, the surface is so unclean, smelly, dirty, you don't want to touch. But there's a gold. And you will try, and then make it pure. So that's how past Buddha's teaching. Relationship with the samsara, you can see that so many people are so ruthless, or some are very destructive. Some are suffering so much. All this because of that temporary adventitious obscuration is sustained by this. So Buddha's teaching is to clean that, to purify that adventitious obscurations. And these are taught. So that's why Buddha has, first of all, that great wisdom. See, directly can see sentient beings the nature of the Buddha nature. The Tathagata Garbha. And then because the sentient beings has that Tathagata Garbha, the Buddha nature, but then under the cover of the defilement, mental afflictions, and suffering so much. Without reason, the suffering is immense. And it's endless. Like us, we don't remember so much our previous life, but we are coming in the world, in the samsara, from the beginner's time up until now. You can think about that. What went wrong? Occasionally, I must have been born as a human being. And during those times, occasionally, I must met Buddha's teaching at some other Buddha's teaching. But still, I'm in the samsara. What happened? What went wrong? You can ask those questions. See, still I'm not free from the suffering. We're stuck in the mud of the samsara. So Buddha perceived this so precisely when I mentioned when Buddha Siddhartha attained the Buddhahood. So because of that saying, and everyone has a potential to free from the samsara, because there's a primary cause, the Buddha nature, that will allow us to achieve the enlightenment. Because there's such a, what's called primary cause itself. It's the cause that will, if we make effort, definitely it's a guarantee that one can free from samsara and achieve enlightenment. So seeing that nature, then the Buddha taught the Dharma teachings.
由于我们的这个佛性呢，它是本然的这个清净的，这种清净它是不会有任何改变的。就是弥勒慈氏呢，他在一部经典当中有解释到，有很多关于这个佛性的解释，所以它就如同一块金子一般的纯净。金子它是非常纯净的，自然而清净。它也是不会改变它的清净的，所以只是因为它可能处在一个非常肮脏的境地状态当中，也就是如同我们的这个佛性呢，它短暂被染污所遮蔽，所以这个金子呢，它尽管就是处在这种肮脏的环境，或者是表面有很多灰尘，或者是有很多的这个脏污把它遮蔽了，它始终仍旧是金子。所以呢，只是我们所要做的，就是让这个金子恢复它的光彩。这个在轮回当中有很多的众生，他其实是无根如同，就是无根的，就是不断在痛苦当中流转，轮回的痛苦当中流转。那是因为他的这个心呢被染污所遮蔽。佛陀他的这个教法就是帮助众生去除这些染污，那就是佛陀的智慧。佛陀的智慧佛陀的智慧呢，它可以看见一切众生，他们其实都是具有佛性的，因为这个一切众生具有这种自信身，可是他们短暂被这种烦恼染污所遮蔽，因此才会在这个轮回当中不断的受苦，而且这个痛苦是非常巨大的。这个众生从无始以来就在轮回当中流转，所以我们就要去思考，为什么仍旧没有办法解脱这个轮回呢？虽然大家都有这个佛性自信身，可是那是然后我们也要去思考，尽管有时候我们转世为人，然后能够直遇佛陀的教法，可是为什么我们仍旧处在这个轮回当中？为什么是这样呢？我们还没有获得自由解脱，还仍旧在这个轮回当中受到禁锢，所以这个佛陀的教法呢，它是非常精确的指出这个能够让我们解脱的方法。所以一切的众生都具有这种潜能，能够从轮回当中解脱，就是因为具有佛性的缘故。所以它让我们能够成就佛果位，这个是一个先决条件，也就是由于有佛性的缘故，所以我们只要付诸努力、精进修持，这个是能够保障我们是获得保障，能够获得解脱的。所以呢，这个就是佛陀的教法。
This analogy, the story is mentioned in the sutra, the Buddha's sutra, described in the text, in the commentary. We all have heard of wish-granting jewel, legendary, one who's very expert about this wish-granting jewel, and found the jewel. And when he found the jewel, the wish-granting jewel, it's like an ordinary rock, nothing special. But that who is expert about the jewel, he recognized this is not ordinary rock. This is a wish-granting jewel. So to get the benefit from this jewel, then you have to polish it. You have to wash it, not just one time, two times, three times. First you wash it with salty water, and then polish the rough cloth. And then after that, you try the second time with regular water, wash it, and then polish with a smoother cloth. And finally, you wash it with the medicine water and very silk cloth, smooth. And when you totally wash that and clean, polished totally, then you put on the top of the banner, and then you pray. And in that area, then that wish-granting jewel will fulfill the wishes of all the people. So that's the example. Like that, this our precious jewel that we have with the nature. So Buddha turned, as I mentioned, turned the three wheels of the Dharma. First, we have to reflect the suffering. How we are suffering, how we are confused suffering. As sometimes we just will go after the suffering without recognizing that's a suffering. So that's why Buddha explains so detailed about the suffering and suffering of change. First is called suffering of suffering, and then the suffering of change. The third is called the suffering of condition. See, Buddha explains so detailed about that. The first suffering is easy to understand. We all know about it. Everybody make every effort to free from that. Like so when you get sick, and you go to doctor, you pay as much as you can to cover all the expenses. Whole your work, your life, you work for, that all collections you spend for there, because you are so desperate to free from that kind of suffering. But the second type of suffering is all the samsaric pleasure. It's called the five sensorial objects. Like modern ways, high-tech smartphone. You enjoy so much. You want to look after one after another without stop. And the children, the parents say, now stop, don't looking at it. But you get some study, but the kids, they cannot stop. Because it gives you some pleasure, some joy, It's called suffering of change. All in the samsara, you look at this, everyone is chasing after that without realizing how much you have to pay the consequences. Make sense? Look at this, how Buddha talks. It's not Buddha saying everything's bad, but you have to be smart to understand about these things. We like to eat so much, Then we gain the weight, Then what happens? We're eating over what we're supposed to eat, because it gives some joy, happiness, See, so something happiness is about that. The millionaires, they want to become billionaires, and they end up with suffering, instead of really giving them joy and happiness, you see. I'm not saying we shouldn't be billionaire, okay? You know, everybody can be billionaire. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But well, not satisfy what we have. No, we just go over. No. So that's Buddha's first, the wisdom you see. When we are obsessed with this suffering of change, temporary peace and happiness, you see how we can get out of the samsara, because we are stuck there. Then after that, the third suffering is more difficult to understand. The suffering of condition. As long as we have these 5 aggregates, then see how much we have cherished to this, the 5 aggregates, the 5 skandha we have. No matter how much we try, sometimes we do all good things, but we are stuck with that. And just how much we take care of this. All the suffering of this, all the suffering of suffering is based on this 5 aggregates, the 5 skandha. The suffering of change is based on this. No, because what we have, as the other dimension, called self-cherishing, self-grasping. So this you see, look at this. Until we realize that is emptiness. It's not there. It's not there as we kind of say, as we experience, as we think of, as we relate it to this. That's why this all those teachings you need so much experience, understand, contemplate, make sure first you get it. This is not enough just to say some prayers. Sometimes when you say few prayers, oh, it has a lot of benefits, If you look at the mantras, it has so much benefit. It purifies many kalpas, aeons, negative karma, But this, how if we not recognize these 3 different types of suffering, we cannot get out of it. See, that's what, as I mentioned, the Four Noble Truth first is so precious. It's not a Buddhism. It's not Buddha created. It's not Buddha's kind of manipulations, but it's Buddha explaining what reality, natural, where we are, what we want, and what we're supposed to do. So Buddha's teaching is so precious. It's opening the eye. So by having those first explaining these things, this first Four Noble Truth is the first turning of the Dharma. Then, because as mentioned, the mind is so complex, so vast, so profound, then you could study, practice of these teachings, everything's impermanent, everything's reflection, all these things. Then the second turning of the Dharma teaching, Buddha said, everything does not exist as you perceive. Look at your mind. Then the Panjara Paramita Sutra, the wisdom, the emptiness. Even this in our short Heart Sutra mentioned There's no eye, no ear, no tongue, no this, no, you know. Buddha is not negating these things, okay? But we are so obsessed. What we see, you know, all this, they are not exist as you receive. Their nature is emptiness. So then you see, that's how the washing this our Buddha nature, okay? It's like the water of the wisdom, washing the adventitious obscurations. Yeah. Then, as I mentioned, and the disciples, they following this, first Four Truth, Buddha said, this all exists, their suffering exists, the cause of suffering exists, all this. Now in the second turning of the Dharma teaching, nothing exists. What is that about, you know? It's so paradox, contradictory. Now to compromise, to bring together the third turning, as you see that what you are seeing itself is nothing different from the emptiness. There's no separation. No, the form is emptiness and emptiness is form. Form is no other than emptiness and emptiness is no other than form. Because as mentioned, these three training an indispensable cause which requires to contemplate and then see, bring together your mind, make your mind calm, sharp, clear. See, a distracted mind cannot capture these things. So there's a samadhi, you have heard of, you know, a lot of samadhi, step by step, all this, because it makes the mind organize, bring together. And then when it's bring together, there's a strength. When there's a strength, there's a stability. When there's a stability, then there's a clarity. No? That clarity, then use that by the special wisdom, pranja, the special insight. Through that, you see, then the subtle obscurations totally obliterated, purified, uprooted. You see, that's the Buddha's teachings. So third turning is called non-duality. Okay? Then you see sentient beings, not ordinary sentient beings, samsara, but you perceive their Buddha. Their mind is Buddha's mind. You see, the mind that first you have, that Buddha nature you have, is nothing changed when you achieve Buddhahood. No, like the butter in the milk. You know, the milk has the butter. Everybody knows. See, when the butter is produced from the milk, is the butter is better than the butter in the milk. What would you say? It's not a better butter. It's the pure butter that which is in the milk, and they perfectly produce. And you say, this is pure butter, you see. This, I just now freshly produced this butter from the milk, you see. So that is, you can say, the organic butter, okay. See? But when the butter is in the milk, you cannot use the milk as the butter. It's milk. Make sense? So that's why I say we should have this kind of wisdom. When you have this wisdom, then your Dharma practice will be such a sincere, full dedication. there's no wavering. Okay. And then you will practice Dharma joyfully, happily, and then you will have such a strong devotion to Buddha, not as a religious leader, a founder of the Buddhism, but who gives you the enlightenment in your hand. So this is how this first Buddha is saying this, all the Buddha's teaching is about this, how to handle this. So when these adventitious obscurations that what we have, as I mentioned, the suffering of change, the suffering of the conditions, or you can say the three poisons we have, three poisons, the ignorance, attachment, aversion, so forth, all the rest, 84,000 types of mental afflictions, they call, when this all are taken care of, means your Buddha nature, you realize as it is. As mentioned, the butter produced from the milk, freshly, that uses called Buddha. So to realize that, so whole Buddha's teachings is about that. That's called Nirvana. Okay.
所以刚才仁波切他首先说到这个经典当中有一个故事，就是它来自于这个著书当中，所以他讲的这个故事是关于这个如意宝珠。如果一个人呢，在这个故事里面有一个人他就找到了这个如意宝珠，可是他将这个如意宝珠视为好像一个石头，没什么特别。他不知道它是一个如意宝珠，直到有这个特别的这个专家，这个能够看出它是如意宝珠的这个所谓的专家呢，他认出了这不是一个普通的石头，它是如意宝珠，只是我们需要去抛光，给它抛光清洗之后，它的这个特质才能够显现出来，而且它不是只是清洗几次，它需要不断的去洁净它。所以比如说第一次的时候，先用这个盐水去清洁，然后用这个初步去给它抛光。第二次清洗之后呢，用较光滑的布去给它抛光。第三次清洗，用这个药水清洗之后呢，用这个丝绸的布再去抛光它。所以这个如意宝珠在经历不断清洗之后，它才能够显现出它的宝贵。之后呢，他们就把这个如意宝珠放置在这个旗帜上面，在这个区域进行了这个祈祷。祈祷之后，这个如意宝珠就赐予了这个地方的人呢，能够满愿，能够满他们的这个愿望。佛陀他三转法轮的时候呢，首先他所教导的就是让我们去反思维什么是痛苦，痛苦它是怎么产生，那它又会有什么的问题，什么样的问题，没有办法认出的话呢，还是会承受痛苦。佛陀他解释的方式呢，他解释痛苦的时候，他有说到三种苦，第一种是苦，再来第二是坏苦，第三是行苦。苦指的是比如说非常显而易见，比如说是生病的时候，你就会感到这种很明显的痛苦，然后就要花很多的钱，愿意花很多的钱去治疗这个疾病。再来这个坏苦呢，就是好像我们在享受这种受用的时候，我们用五蕴就是我们身体的这个感官呢，去享受这些受用的时候，包括这种高科技的产品， 或者是手机等等，那我们就会不断的去享受这些东西。那比如说小孩子他们就常常会去滑手机，那你叫他们停止呢，也是非常困难的，因为他们也是会觉得，哎，这个手机给他们很多的享受，所以这个享受呢，它就会带来这个坏苦的情况。可是这些佛陀并不是说这些情况都是坏的，只是说我们必须要去认出它所带来的痛苦是怎么样的。那比如说我们去吃好吃的食物，我们当下是很享受，可是它会让我们体重增加，所以接着我们就要去承受这种坏苦的情况。另外呢，比如说这个，这个亿万富翁，这个世间呢，很多人都有很多这个亿万富翁，那他们并不完全就是都是非常安乐的。那也不是说我们就不要去成为这样子的人，只是我们要了解，即使成为了亿万富翁之后呢，我们的心可能还是，如果还是没有办法满足的话，就会有痛苦的产生。所以，我们要如何去从这些轮回中的痛苦解脱出来呢？呃，比如说这个，第三种苦行苦的话呢，就是我们也会通过我们的这个身体。我们会就是非常珍视我们的身体，然后我们的这个五蕴。可是呢，不管我们怎么样去爱护它、爱惜它，我们仍旧没有办法去避免会产生的这些痛苦，然后就会处在这些痛苦当中，没有办法去解脱。那都是因为呢，我们有我执的这个缘故。那一直到我们了悟到空性，我们都仍旧会承受这些痛苦。佛陀的这个教法呢，就是所以呢，我们有时候会认为那我们作为佛教徒，我们可以念一些这个咒语等等，咒语它可以带来很大的利益，可以清净我们的恶业等等。那确实如此，可是呢，我们如果没有认出这个三种痛苦的话，实际上我们还是没有办法真正解脱轮回的这些苦。这三种痛苦呢，它不是由佛陀所创造出来的，而是他去揭露出来的。他把它揭露出来，然后呢，让我们都能够去张开双眼，去看到这些真实的情况是怎么样，轮回的情况是怎么样的。所以在他初转法轮的时候呢，他所揭露出来的真相，他就宣说了这个四圣谛，也就是痛苦的本质。然后接着我们要去修持，修持，然后去止灭这些痛苦。二转法轮的时候，他就宣说了这个空性的智慧，包括了在心经当中，他说到无眼耳鼻舌身意等等这些内容。佛陀他并不是说完全忽略掉我们的这个五蕴的感受，而是呢也不是说他只是他要说明的是，我们所看到的这个外境呢，并不是真实的这个实相，它并不是如同我们所见的那样。所以，我们必须去升起智慧，然后呢，去除这些烦恼之后，才能够去照见这实相。所以在这个所以首先他说明了初转法轮的时候说世间轮回都是痛苦，接着在二转法轮之中又说到这一切外境都真实存在，也就是空性的这个智慧。那是不是相互两者有冲突呢？我们所以佛陀他在三转法轮当中，他就又说到我们所看见的这个外境的这个显象呢， 它都不离于空性。所以它这边说到的是色即是空，空即是色。所以我们要就是去思维其中的这个内涵，然后呢，我们要让我们的心变得更加的这个清明。唯有清明的这个心，没有任何的这个干扰，才能够真实的这个了悟。因此，在修持的过程当中，我们包括会去修持这个奢摩他等等，那这些都是帮助让我们的这个心能够变得更加的清明，具有力量，然后呢，能够真实，才能够在心中升起这种了悟，能够去照见这种实相。在这种状态下呢，我们就能够去除最细微的那些障碍。所以，这个三转法轮，实际上它所说的是这种无二的智慧。一切的轮回中的众生呢，它都是一切的这个轮回中的众生，嗯。都能够，因为他们都有佛性的缘故，只是他们没有办法看见，他们仍旧有染污的缘故，所以他们没有办法就是成佛，没有办法看见自己的佛性。可是，一旦成佛之后呢，他和他的这个成就和佛其实是没有分别的，就如同这个牛奶和这个牛油黄油。当这个牛油呢，它是从牛奶当中萃取出来的精华，可是你不能够说谁比较好，只是说它还没有把它萃取出来，这个牛油还没有萃取出来，我们就不能够去使用它，它就仍旧是这个牛奶的一部分。所以这个它就如同是智慧一般，这个黄油就如同是智慧一般。所以，我们如果能够有这样子的了解，那我们在修持佛法的时候呢，就可以就更加有这种信心，而且能够更有安乐的去以更欢喜的心去修持，而且也不会升起懈怠。然后呢，也会对佛的教法呢有非常强大的信心。
Okay, thank you. Next, you have a rough translation. So the part two, the main body of the teachings there. The first is the core Dharma. Here, actually, what is said here. Yangda Lama, Senden Lama tells, look for a qualified Lama or Guru who can show you the authentic spiritual path. So as I mentioned, so Buddha taught all those teachings, complete, one individual to attain Buddhahood. Okay. Now that transmitted through the lineage. Now here, the teacher is very important, the Guru, who have studied the Buddha's teaching, both Sutra and Tantra teachings. First is, maybe I should say a little more about this three training, okay? Three trainings, first, need to put a little bit emphasis on this so that we get a good idea, good understanding. The three training, the Shila, Samadhi, Praja. These three training are appreciated, put so much emphasis by all the Buddhists, okay? Theravada Buddhist, Mahayana Buddhist, Vajrayana Buddhist, everyone equally put the emphasis on this. And In Theravada now, the language they're using is called Pali. So they don't say praja, but they say pan, what's it, panya. Is it a panya, you see, the Pali panya. Instead of dharma, they say dhamma. Instead of chakra, they say chakra. So there's no R, panya. Otherwise, shila, samadhi, panya, all those three are very important. As well, Mahayana. And Vajrayana, special logic Sumgul said in the Konchog, Doji Tikbe Lamrim Labasum, Doji Tikbe Lamrim, the path of the Vajrayana is the three training. Sumgul put so much emphasis about the morality as a foundation, And sometimes in Vajrayana, some scholars, not everyone, some scholars of Vinaya is a Hinayana, they say. Just a little bit looking down. At the same time, this Vinaya is very important foundation, They have some kind of confusion. But Lord Jigdasungku put so much emphasis. Who taught the Vinaya? Buddha taught the Vinaya. As Aditya mentioned, the total Vinaya teachings can only give by Buddha's wisdom. All the teachers. So that because Buddha has that kind of wisdom, even great Bodhisattvas don't have that wisdom. So Jidasungku says, Vinaya is real Mahayana. Vinaya goes to all Buddhist beginner, right at the beginner. Like if you take one precept, two precepts, three precepts, four precepts, five precepts. The lay people, mostly we say five precepts, It's Vinaya. So Vinaya is practiced both by ordained lay practitioners. So from there to all the way, Vinaya is foundation. On the basis of that, avoiding all the cause of suffering. And you just build your life in the cause, in the framework of this wisdom of that, the wisdom of this understanding of the non-virtue and virtue. Then on the basis of that, you build this samaya, samadhi. Samadhi, well organize your mind. Then praja. So that's first. I want to put emphasis. So we all, I say, all Buddhists, Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, we follow one Buddha. Okay, there's no two Buddha, we are very strictly follow the Buddha's word. If you want to prove something pure, so Buddha said this. You have to have that kind of understanding. Okay. So Vajrayana is not something out of Buddha's teaching, within the framework of the Buddha's teaching. We should understand that. Okay, that just nowadays, because we are so close to each other, the world is so close because of the science and technologies, the transportations and the communications, everything bring together, so much. So we should know all the Buddhists are into the one path. Okay. Then every individual you see, everyone has a different mental capacity. because some are more smart, some are more smarter than others. It's obvious, clear. We cannot ignore that. So those who are smart enough, then you give more teachings, graduate, faster, greater, and then others. So Buddha taught all teachers, as you said, the prayer, request prayers. So please turn the wheel of Dharma according to the capacity of the individuals, the greater and lesser, you see. What is about that, At the end, everyone should attend Buddhahood. Some may take longer time, but so that's why we all it's called all the teachings are Lamrim, stages to path. Okay, stages to path, step by step we follow. Everyone has to follow that. And that was, I thought, say some little clear, make some little clarification. So having said that, now here we're touching the teacher, guru. Teacher is very important. Not the title, how much title he or she has. Okay. Anybody can have title, but may not have all the excellent qualities that who has the title. So that's why Buddha said there are 4 reliances you should understand. Rely on the teachings, not the person. Rely on the Dharma, not the person. Rely on the meaning, not the word. Rely on the definite meaning than the relative meaning. Rely on the wisdom, not the consciousness. So there are 4 reliances. So first is rely on the Dharma, then the person. Sometimes we say, even that who has a high title, advertise this one individual has this great title, all this title, then he or she may say anything, but people follow, he said that, This was called a little confused. We should have a wisdom how to teachings is taught. So anyhow, the teachers, the qualities are described in all different texts. In the Vinaya section, there is a description of the teacher. And in the Mahayana Sutra teachings, there's a description of the teacher. As you can see in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, there's one chapter about the teacher, the teachers, The third, the contributory cause is the teacher. And there, first, how important to have a good teacher. Because if there's no teacher, we don't know what to study. We don't know how to understand our teachings. So teacher is very important. Reminding us, study, practice Dharma. Because always our attention is taken by the samsaric attention. Follow samsaric, that. Then teacher said, don't do that. Okay, you just bring back your mind go to the right. It's called right track. Use the right track, not off the track. Sometimes we go on the off the track, And when you are going to the off the track, you need a teacher who reminds you to the right track. Okay. Our teacher's qualification in the jewel ornament liberation, the meaning. So highest teacher, Buddha is the teacher. Buddha Shakyamuni, Sambhogakaya Buddha. That's the top teacher, you know. And then after that, Bodhisattva, who attend several different bhumis. And if you find those, excellent. You know? And even who are not attend those bhumis, still those individual teachers should have necessary qualities. In the jewel ornament liberation mission, the teacher who has 8 qualities, 4 qualities, at least 2 qualities, and described all the steps. You know? The 4 qualities, Kambupa quoted, the quotation is brought from the Dodike, the ornament of Sutra by Maitreya in that. Dachi tesum chebata suyi to yi tamba. Then it's just about the teacher must have a vast study in the Mahayana Sutra teachings first. Dachi. Then who has a skill, wisdom to uproot or dispel all the confusions, any questions they have. And the teacher should have a good moral ethics that is respectable. And the fourth, who can explain about the causality of samsara and the causality of the nirvana. So they need them. Okay. What are the samsara and what's the cause of samsara? What is the nirvana? What's the path towards the nirvana? It's very beautiful. You know? So like this, you mentioned, you know, look for a qualified Lama or Guru who can show you the authentic spiritual path. Yangda Lam Dun, Tenden Lama Den, Yangda Lam, the pure path, who can show you the pure path. And then authentic, qualified Guru you should look for. You have the responsibility.
接下来到第2个部分，也就是我们的这个根本颂的第2页。第2部分的第1部分呢，就是说到这个4法当中，首先第1点就是要寻找一位具德上师，能为您指示真实的修行之道。所以这佛陀的教法，它是告诉我们一步一步怎么样去进行之后呢，修持之后能够证得佛果位。所以首先第1件最重要的事情就是我们要有一个具德的老师，这点很重要。他必须要就是已经研读了佛陀的这些经序还有密序的这些教法的内容。另外还有就是包括了这种这些3个主要的修持的内容包括了这个须拉还有奢摩他还有这个智慧。那在这边呢，就是他们这3个训练呢修持，它包含在上部座大乘还有金刚乘当中。所以不论是什么样的这个佛教修行者呢，就是不论他是修行哪一乘，都是包含这些内容。护主吉天松共他在正法一义当中有说到，其实这个金刚乘的道路呢也是包含了这3个修行的内容，所以它是一个基础。 所以这戒律是一个基础。所以有些金刚乘的这些老师，他可能会修行人，他可能会认为这个这个小乘是不重要，或者是看不起他，看不起小乘的这个修持。可是其实这个上部座的这些内容呢，是佛亲自教授的，所以他也完全很详细的教授里面的整个修持的戒律的内容。呃所以这个佛陀呢，他是具有智慧才能够给予这样子的教法，即使是这个菩萨都没有办法很完整精确的给予这个律的这个教授。那这个这个律呢，律藏呢，就是我们所有人都需要去修学的，包括了这个受持戒律五戒，它是所有的这个在家众和出家众都需要去持守的。它是一个基础，它是包含了这些包含了这个所有这个苦因，还有善法、不善法等等的这个内容，修持的内容。所以这个一切佛陀的这个修持，我们其实都是这个律藏呢，它其实都是来自佛陀直接的这个教言。所以我们比如说我们就要去跟随，所以我们就要去跟随佛陀的这个教言来修持。这个律藏当中呢，金刚乘，对不起，金刚乘呢，其实都包含这些修持的内容。你不能够说金刚乘就不需要修持这个律藏当中的戒律的部分。当今的这个社会呢，科技非常的先进，所有的然后呢，我们所有的这些佛教徒呢，也有很多这些好像不同的修持法门可以选择。那所有的这些修行者其实都可以根据他的不同的根器，比如说上中下的这些根器呢，来进行法门的选择，他选择适合的修持的道路。所以在我们的这个祈愿文刚才有念诵的，就是请转法轮的部分，我们就会说，请为这个大中小的不同的这些根器的人呢，来转法轮。因为最终不论是什么样的这些根器，最终我们在一步一步修持过后，最终目标都是要证得佛果位。所以在这边主要要讲的就是老师、上师。老师、上师是很重要，不论他的这个名头大小，他的这个即使你的名头再大，可是也不代表你具有非常优秀的这个功德，非常了不起的功德。佛他曾经就有说过，我们在学习佛法的时候，要依止的是教法，而不是人。我们要依止的是佛陀的教义，而不是他的语言。我们要依止的是智慧，而不是心识。所以，即使再高，比如说好像有些老师，他的有这个很大的这个名号，可是呢，他可能什么也没有教，他的随众还是会很多。可是并不代表他就有给予很好的这个教授。所以老师的这个功德，什么样的老师是具有功德的老师呢？在很多的典籍当中有描述，包括了在这个律藏还有这个大乘的经典当中都有说到。在这个解脱庄严宝论当中也有详细的讲述关于老师要具足什么样的这个功德，所以这个有助于我们去找到这个合适好的这个老师。所以这个老师呢 它的作用是在于这个老师他必须要，它的作用是要提醒我们要去好好的学习教法，然后修持佛法。比如说，当我们沉溺于轮回当中的这些受用，或者是不想修学佛法的时候，老师他就是要提醒我们，会提醒我们要回到正轨，修学佛法的正轨当中，而不要误入歧途。在《解脱庄严宝论》当中呢，是有说到这个释迦牟尼佛他的身份是一个老师，所以这个另外呢，比如说菩萨这些已经登地的菩萨呢，也可以是老师。还有一些比如说老师呢，他需要具备的功德包括了8种功德、4种功德，或者是2种功德等等，所以里面都有详细的这个解释。那这4种功德呢，比如说这个老师首先他必须要广大的研读大乘的这个经教的内容。第二呢，就是他必须有这个智慧，能够去除这种迷惑，而且第三就是他本身要有这个良好的持守这个戒律，而且会尊重其他的僧众等等。第四呢，就是他能够很圆满的解释，这个解释这个业力因果的运行，就是轮回中的业力因果。所以，在这个第一个寄送这个部分说到呢，就是寻找一位具德上师，能为你指示真实的修行之道。所以这边指的就是我们的责任就是去找到这样的一个老师来指引出清净的修持道路。
I was told there are some more questions here. Yeah, sure. Before making the break, few questions.
We would like to request Rinpoche to bestow brief explanation on the outer, inner, secret interdependence.
That is, yesterday I mentioned relation with when Lord Gyaltshen would attend Buddhahood, and he revealed about this interdependence. So I suggest those who are interested, they go to retreat and reveal themselves about this interdependence.
现在我们稍微进行一下问答的部分。就是第一个问题是想请甘谦仁波切呢赐予一个简单的解说，就是有关于外在、内在和秘密的这个因缘和合的内容。所以仁波切他是说，昨天他有提到护主吉天松贡他证悟成佛之后呢，他就揭露了这个诸法呢都是因缘和合的以因缘和合的方式显现。所以呢，他建议那些想要就是关照能够看到这个部分的同修呢，你们也可以去进行闭关，然后亲自去揭露，就是说体察到了悟到这样子的内容。
It makes sense, isn't it? You know, everything is interdependent. You know, now after practicing, everything is interdependent. Within that, oh, means outer interdependent, inner interdependent, secret interdependent, ultimate interdependent. Oh, you know. So you reveal through your own experience, you know, Then he becomes such a great practitioner, highly accomplished practitioner. Then you realize there's nothing exists in the world, both in the samsara and nirvana, which is not interdependent. Everything is within the framework of the interdependent. Then you find such a beautiful, your mind becomes so clear. Every estimation, everything is just illusory nature. But within the illusory nature, everything has a distinctive causes and conditions. There's no confusion. Okay? Every cause there's an effect or result. Everything what is happening, that's based on the causes and conditions. Such a precise, clear mind, you can see the play of all these causes and conditions. The mind is, you see, so what I'm talking about is, you see, the outer universe, you see, first of all, this is interdependent. Look at this house, the building here. This building depends on many causes and conditions. Even one smallest dust particle is not independent, it's dependent. Look at the outside, the lake, the oceans, mountains, everything depends on many causes and conditions, you see. Just a manifestation of the causes and conditions. If one thing is absent, then you see that moment that collapses. It's just, it's just destroyed, Look at the mind also, the inner interdependent mind. How many thoughts are coming in our mind? It's amazing if you pay attention. These thoughts coming one after another, without stopping. It's based on causes and conditions. It's just coming up, all their own habits, all this. And then this, all you look at this, some thoughts brings you joy, happiness. Some thoughts brings you suffering, confusion. Everything so interdependent, And our body, how functions? This body is not just one thing. First of all, we have the 4 elements. See, actually the 4 elements are so contradictory each other. The fire, the water, opposite. The air, the earth element, the opposite. Earth is heavy, air is light, but they have to stay together. They have to stay together harmoniously. When there's imbalance, health is not good. That's why when there's a hot weather, we use air conditioning, since we don't have inner power, Okay. When there's cold weather, they need a heat system, It's all interdependent, And then retreat practitioners who go to retreat, practicing the 6 years Narupa. And there is all the causes, conditions described, how to practice them. How to, like Milarepa, who generated the heat, And like now, we don't have so many practitioners in the mountain who generate those things, but you see, we have the aeroplane. How the giant aeroplane can carry 300-400 passengers, with all the luggages and fly in the sky for many hours. It's amazing, you know, if you really think carefully, it's so amazing. It's all interdependent. See, interconnected. So one time he said, just for your information, I was flying from US to Delhi in Indian airline, called Air India. So I was in a business class. So I just sat there in my seat. Just one, I think, Indian professor, maybe, I don't know. He said, he was talking about the Atma, you know, you see the divine soul. Then we were discussing all about. Then I just said, look at this airplane. This airplane has no any single independent entity. Everything is interdependent, even dust particle, you know. And then he said, oh, I like Buddhist philosophy. It's not a Buddhist philosophy. It's the reality nature of that, you know, everything you see. So when you understood that, you see it is nothing but illusory nature. No? So likewise inside, when we practice this chakra channels, those great practitioners who have such ability, mental capacity to generate, and like Milarepa, who can fly, you know, go through the mountain, rocky mountains, you know. See, it's called interdependent. Then you see, ultimate, you see, that very visible itself, that very what we see, that itself nothing but emptiness, but within emptiness, everything functions with interdependent nature. This is, for us, is inconceivable. But how these things functions, that's how we achieve the enlightenment.
所以在这个根据这个问题呢，仁波切他接着又解释到，就是我们在修持佛法之后，我们自己去修持佛法之后呢，我们比如说去闭关，我们就可以亲自去观察到这个一切事物都是因缘和合的这个现象。所以你可以自己亲身去把它揭露出来，去观察它，通过你自己的这个体验。所以其实在这个世界上，实际上呢是没有任何的这个事物是个别存在，它们都是有因缘存在的。所以可是在这个因缘和合的框架里面呢，就是又有所有的这个事物又有各自的这个因缘，所以我们如果可以亲身去体察它的话呢，你的心会是非常清明的，可以去关照这些事物。一切的这个诸法呢，它都是以它的自性都是如幻的，可是个别的这些事物又有它的因缘，每一个事物呢都有因跟果的存在，他们所有事情的发生也是都有因果的存在，世间万物都是如此。比如说呢，我们可以看我们现在所在的这栋建筑物，它也是因缘和合而生的，即使小到如一粒尘埃的出现，它也是有它的因缘。外在的事物包括像是高山、湖泊等等，也是有它的因缘所以存在。我们观照自心呢，就是我们观照内在的这一个因缘，就是我们可以看到我们的内心有许多的念头的升起，不断一个接着一个念头的升起，不停止的。 升起念头，他们也是有这个因缘存在。有些念头能够带给我们安乐的感受，有些呢会带给我们痛苦。另外，我们关照我们的身体，我们身体各个器官部位的运作是怎么样的？首先，这个身体它是由四大所组成，四大它包括了这个火、水、地、水、火、风。然后这个火跟水呢，它是相对立的，而这个对不起，这个火跟水是相对立的，而这个风跟地呢，它也是相对立的，就是这个风它是非常轻盈，而这个地是非常沉重的。可是这个四大呢，它却要处在一种平衡的状态才能够运作。那就包括了就比如说在热天气的时候呢，我们需要这个空调来平衡这个温度。在冷天气的时候，我们也需要这个暖气来平衡这个温度，让我们感到舒适。所以，我们的这个身体目前暂时没有能力去产生这个热或冷来去平衡这个感受，因此就需要外在的这些仪器呢来帮助我们。有些这个闭关者，比如说像是密勒日巴尊者等，他们在修持这些瑜伽，比如说那洛六法的修持的过程当中，他们能够自身就能够产生这种热力，来去平衡自己的这个体温。另外呢，比如说仁波切他给了一个例子，就是他搭飞机过程当中呢，他所遇到的一件事情，就是他曾经搭飞机从美国到印度德里，当时他坐在飞机当中的时候呢，隔壁就坐着一名好像是印度的这个教授，所以他们就开始讨论聊天。然后仁波切就说到，这个飞机呢，它也是因缘和合而生的。这个印度的教授呢，他就说同意他的说法，他认为这个佛教的哲学，他喜欢佛教的哲学思想。可是仁波切他强调说，佛法它并不是一种哲学思想，它其实揭露出来的是事物的实相。所以，如果那些这个修行者有能力修持这个气脉明点的话呢，比如说像是密勒日巴尊者，他能够修到能够可以飞，或者是可以做一些有神通的显现，那其实这也是因缘和合而生的。所以这边所要讲的重点就是这个事物它的运作都是要依靠因缘。
Rinpoche, please elaborate what is Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Namanakaya.
I think most people know this. Dhammakaya, ultimate Buddha, the perfect nature of the mind, should say. When we realize perfect nature of our own mind, is called all pervading nature, beyond words. It's inconceivable. That makes oneself perfect. No obscurations exist there. All the excellent qualities are totally perfected. So Dhammakaya, one is free from all the delusions, both subtle and gross. From there, then Buddha manifests in different form. Some call Sambhogakaya, a pure form with great bodhisattvas, highly accomplished great bodhisattvas. Then they perceive Buddha Sambhogakaya. It's not just our ordinary flesh body, but wisdom body with excellent marks. They are called 80 minor marks, 32 major marks, those. And then that's Sambhogakaya, and can perceive complete Buddha's teachings from that, the great Bodhisattvas, Sambhogakaya. And then Nirmanakaya, our Buddha Shakyamuni, that when Buddha Shakyamuni attained Buddhahood in Bodh Gaya, at that time people received teachings from that Buddha, the teaching that Buddha was studying, practicing. That's called Nirmanakaya. Just briefly, you can understand that.
所以这边这个问题是要仁波切，请仁波切解释一下这个法报化三身的不同点。所以，仁波切回答到，就是大多数人应该都知道，然后这个报身，这个法身，它是究竟的佛，它是圆满我们自心圆满的这个体性。所以，当我们了悟到这个心的圆满自性之后呢，一切事物它一切的这个都是遍满了我们的这种圆满的自性，所以它是超越语言可以言说的，它没有任何的这个，我们已经去除了所有的障碍，一切的这些功德都是圆满的。然后也离于所有的这些迷惑染污。佛呢，他成就佛果位之后呢，他就显现出不同的这个相。接着就是这个报身相，报身相指的就是菩萨，比如说菩萨，他具有这个智慧身，然后呢有这些功德的这个表征。包括了80相好、32随行好等等。再来就是化身，化身就是指佛陀释迦牟尼佛，他在菩提迦耶证悟，并且证得佛果位。他当时呢也是在这之前，他是像一般修行者一样，就是不断的修学研读佛法，最后才证得这个佛果位。所以这边指的就是化身。
After tasting the nature of mind, after tasting the nature of mind, how to stabilize it?
After
Tasting the nature of mind.
attain
Experience.
There you to stabilize that, as I mentioned, the 3 trainings. Okay. The 3 trainings are the indispensable method to stabilize your experience of mind or the practice.
所以在就是体验到这个新的自信之后呢，我们要如何去稳固它？所以仁波切他是说到呢，就是要使用这个3种修持方法，所以这个就是让心可以稳固的方式。
Okay, then yes, one more.
When reciting the sadhana, during recitation of the mantra, I visualize the 6th syllable of the deity of the sadhana, but
6 syllable.
no, the 6th syllable, like
6 syllable.
6th
Okay.
syllable, yes. But another deity appears am I being confused or all deities are the same?
All deities are same.
For example, like I'm practicing the White Tara
Yes.
sadhana, but during the visualization, another deity like Cherezik appear in my mind during my visualization. Does it mean that I am confused or they are all the same?
No, it's you are not confused, but you are not so stabilized.
所以这个问题是问到，当我在念诵这个法本的时候呢，我在念诵它的这个本尊咒语，我观想这个种子本尊的种子字，然后呢，就是观想的时候，另外一个本尊显现。那我是这种状态是因为迷惑的缘故，还是因为一切的本尊都是相同的？仁波切他回答到，就是你这个情况呢，不是由于迷惑的关系，而是因为你还没有稳固你的修持。
What you can, as you mentioned, when one is fully established, the meditation practice in one deity, well established, then that deity is the embodiment of all the deities. That deity is the, we should say, include all these you call peaceful, magnetizing, what you call increasing, and wrathful. You know, there are so many activities. There are 4 activities. All are within that. But first, as mentioned, if you are not stabilized, well, you are practicing one deity. There, if it comes, another comes, and then the red color comes, or yellow color comes, or red, then blue color comes. Then it's confusing. It's confusing and it's not stabilized. But you have to stabilize one, okay, totally stabilize. Then that is enough for the rest of all the hundreds of thousands of deities.
所以他接着解释到，就是当我们在修持一个本尊的时候呢，就是我们这个本尊它其实是一切所有本尊的这个划线，包括了这个习诸怀真4种事业的这些本尊，都可以包含在我们所修持的这个本尊当中。可是，如果我们的这个修持对于这个本尊的修持呢，没有稳固下来的话，我们在修持过程中会有这个各种本尊显现，红色、黄色蓝色等等的本尊显现的话呢，就是由于我们的修持没有稳固的缘故，所以我们必须先去稳固的修持一个本尊，然后所有本尊的功德都会包含在其中。
How long?
2 more.
2 more. We can do this next session. Shall we make a short break? Om Baza Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Badra Sato Tenova, Tita Depo Membawa, Subu Kayo Membawa, Anorato Membawa, Sarvasiti Metrayata, Sarvakarmas. Chedana Shriya, Puru Hum, Ha 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 Ha, Sarva Tata Gata, Badra Mame Munda, Badembawa Ma. Sadhu Om. Okay, please make a short break.
Dear Dharma brothers and sisters, there will be a short break from 3:30 to 4 p.m. So please come back before 4 p.m. Thank you very much.